All right, welcome to this edition of the Ferrell Phelps Show. You know, this is Black History Month, and this show is all about black business ownerships. I have with me today none other than my good friend Elizabeth Jackson. Welcome to the show, Elizabeth.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. This has really been a long time coming. I'm really excited to have Elizabeth on the show. And we're talking about African Americans in business, as Elizabeth Jackson is. And she just recently invented something called the Easy Needle Multi-Threader. And I'm really excited about it because I've actually witnessed the journey of this process. Elizabeth, if you could, tell us a little bit more about the Easy Needle Multi-Threader.
Well, the Easy Needle Multi-Threader is actually designed to make the weaving installation easier.
Okay.
Usually and typically we use a thread that inserts into the hole of a needle, but sometimes it's difficult and sometimes it's troubling to get that thread through the needle.
Okay.
And oftentimes I get frustrated. Sometimes I let my clients thread them from me because they ask, you know,
Okay.
so I can make the process faster.
Right.
So that's the reason for the Easy Needle Multi-Threader.
Now, when you talk about the Easy Needle Multi-Threader, that's a piece of machinery that's actually designed to make the hair weaving process go a lot faster.
Yes.
Because
yes.
typically when someone's doing a weave, it takes a long time to thread the needles and this, that, and the other. But with this particular item, you actually have so many needles threaded at one time that you can use immediately after you sew on the first track, right?
It takes at least about 3 minutes to set it up, and during the process of installing the weave, it takes at least 30 minutes off the process time.
Really?
Yes.
30 minutes off the process time. Now, all of you guys that are out there listening, they obviously know that time is equal to money.
Yes.
And when you're able to save that type of time, you're able to earn that much more money. And that's what this product is all about.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Because there was a time when I do an installation, it would take at least almost 2 hours. And that's braid down, including sew on.
Okay.
But since I've created the Easy Needle Multi-Threader, I can do now an hour and a half. That's including braid down. So 30 minutes for braid down and an hour for install.
Braid down. Okay, now you know I don't know about hair and all that, but can you explain to me what a braid down is?
It's your foundation. What you do, you braid the client's hair, their original hair,
Okay.
into cornrows, into the whatever style you're going to be sewing the weave on.
Okay.
And it's cornrow braid, and then that's what you sew the attached hair to.
And that's what you sew the attached hair to.
Yeah.
Now, I have to ask you, and I always ask people who have invented different items, how did you even come up with the idea to do this thing?
Man, after praying for at least 15 years for a better way to thread needles, God gave me the answer. He gave it to me in July of 2014.
Okay.
On the 21st day, I'll never forget it because it was 4 in the morning. He woke me up, and I rose. I got up, and then I just drew it real quick. I just drew it.
Okay.
And went back to sleep, and then when I went back to sleep, he showed it in the marketplace, and I jumped back up and I drew it again correctly because I just quickly jotted what I saw.
Right.
And then I've been developing it ever since, and I was completed with my development in 2016 of January.
Okay. You know, as you well know, a part of the show is always about educating, motivating, and inspiring people.
Yes.
And this is going to be the educational part I want to ask you about.
Okay.
How did you go about, once you had the vision and the idea, how did you take it to the next place where it became something that you could actually market? What was the steps to get it to that place?
Well, the first process was I got up that very day, and I went to the store to purchase what I saw, the material that make up the tool.
Okay.
And I just began to work on it. Then when my husband came home, I asked him, I said, hey, this is what I need you to do.
Right.
I need holes here, and then some kind of dowel. At one point I had a nail nailed into it. And he got the idea of what I was looking for, and he started making it. And then eventually I continued to develop, and I continued to ask God, okay, what's the next step?
Right.
Because now I need to know how I'm going to get that thread through the needle.
Okay.
Without easy, you know, making it easy, because we don't want it complicated. We want to simplify the weaving installation. And from there, every time he gave me an answer for that step, I just asked for the next answer because, you know, it was more that needed to be made up.
Right.
And then finally, when it was completed, I took it to a lawyer in February.
Okay.
Had it patented because it works.
That's
Yeah.
wonderful. Yeah. Awesome. And I think it's important that people that are in the process of doing what you've done, that they have knowledge when it comes to how to get that product out there, and also how to protect that product as well, so that nobody copies or steals their idea.
Right.
So that's something that I think the audience can definitely glean from.
Yes.
And that's a part of this educational piece that we're talking about. Now, how do people actually acquire this product now? What's set up for them to actually see the product and get the product?
Well, I've created a website where you can go on the website and actually purchase the product.
Okay.
So you just click on the website, say buy now. It's 3 different designs. We have 3 designs: a 5-needle holder, 10-needle holder, and a 15-needle holder. So the 15-needle holder will allow you to install a full sew-in without stopping to thread another needle.
And again, that goes back to time saving, money, and everything. Now, I noticed the name of it is the Easy Needle Multi-Threader. Yes. But it also has multiple uses.
Absolutely.
Is that correct? Tell me one of the other uses that the Easy Needle Multi-Threader has.
Well, the Easy Needle Multi-Threader can also be used with seamstresses and also quilters, or anyone that needs more than one needle. You can, anyone can use it, and it's not just secluded to professional stylists. Anyone that have a need for multiple needles, without stopping and getting the job done quicker, Easy Needle Multi-Threader is for you.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. I'm really excited about the Easy Needle Multi-Threader, and I know you are, and I've seen the process of it as you've developed it, and I just want to commend you on doing an amazing job and just sticking with it, because when you're creating something new, whatever that vision is, sometimes it can get a little troubling. Sometimes you want to just say, forget it, I give up, and that, this, that, and the other. So I just want to ask you, what type of encouraging words would you give someone who's actually creating a project like yours?
I would say stay with it, believe in it, invest in it, and sometimes people, your friends and family, may not get it in the beginning, but you stay with it, because if you know that this is what you've seen and God gave it to you, stick with it and develop it.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think that's awesome. So we've talked a little bit about the Easy Needle Multi-Threader, but I actually want you to kind of give us an idea as to how it's used. Would that be okay?
Yeah, that would be fine.
That would be fine. Okay, we're going to be back in just a moment when you get an example of how Elizabeth Jackson uses the Easy Needle Multi-Threader. Stick around. We'll be back in just a moment.
Hi, my name is Elizabeth Jackson, and I created the Easy Needle Multi-Threader. It's designed to make your weaving installation easier and faster than the conventional way. All in 5 easy steps. Step 1, remove your unit from its container. Step 2, insert your cushion into the unit. Step 3, insert your needles into the cushions. And step 4, place your thread onto the dowel. And with your Easy Needle Threader, you thread all of your needles from top to bottom. And once you have reached the desired length of thread, you're ready for installation. And remember, you never have to thread another needle in between weaving.
All right, welcome back to this edition of the Ferrell Phelps Show with my awesome guest today, Elizabeth Jackson. Welcome back, Elizabeth. We are talking about the Easy Needle Multi-Threader, and I can't help but to go back in time and because this is Black History Month,
absolutely,
as you well know, and I thought about Madam C.J. Walker.
Yes.
And she was the first African-American female millionaire, all based on a product that she created for hair.
Pressing comb.
The pressing comb.
Yes.
And so when I thought about this today, I'm like, man, it's really interesting how you never know what one thing can do that can propel your entire life, and not only your life but your business.
Yes.
And when you're able to be financially fluid, you can bless other people.
Amen.
And it's all about blessing somebody else and making a difference in the lives of others through what you're able to do.
Absolutely.
And this is obviously a gift that God has placed in your heart to create. So I look forward to major success with this thing. Now I want to know, Liz, I want you to give us an example for people that are not familiar with hair, like me.
Okay.
When you talk about the braid down and this, that, and the other, can you give us an example of exactly how the Easy Needle Multi-Threader would actually work?
Yes. As you can see, I pre-threaded it for you in the beginning stage. You start from here, going down from the top, going down threading. Doesn't take much time, and then of course you're gonna have your client's head already braided for this to insert the extra hair, the extension onto her hair.
Okay.
I'm just gonna fix this.
Make a little minor
thing.
adjustment
Yes,
there.
yes.
That's how we do it.
Okay. So I brought a piece of hair to let you guys see how it works. And you just lay with the track onto the hair. You pull from your bottom, and what it does, it allow you, it's supposed to be secure, but I didn't have water.
Okay.
So you just pull, then you take your scissors, you cut the desired length of thread that you need, you secure it by putting a knot. As you can see, it leaves 4 needles still threaded. Then you just go ahead and start to the sewing process, which you just sew the hair onto your client's hair, and then once you have reached or completed the thread onto the track, then you just take another. See, it allows you to thread quickly.
Right.
And once you completed that, and you cut the thread off, tie your knot, then you get your, well, I likes to always not just put my needle down, but I put it back onto the cushion that I got it from. Take the next needle, cut the length that you need.
Okay.
Do the same thing, tie the knot, secure it, and begin to
do the same process over again.
Yes, yes.
Okay, awesome. You know, I think that is super cool, and you know, it's one thing for someone to talk about a particular project or product, but it's another thing to see it in action.
Yes.
So it's great that we had the opportunity to actually see how the Easy Needle multi-threader works.
And it's so much more professional. It's much more neater. The old-fashioned way is that we had needles on a towel, and we had like maybe 10, 15 needles hanging on a towel, which is unprofessional, but that's the way we was able to do it, because we wanted to have speed or add speed to the process of installation, you know. So, but now it's much more neater, it's much more sturdier once you secure it. I love it.
And I think a lot of you will love it too. And now that you guys have had an opportunity to see how it operates, y'all need to pick up one. Definitely need to pick up one. I want to, you know, I noticed that one of the things, you have cushions underneath, not so much cushions, but suction cups. Now, the suction cups are designed so that this product will stay sturdy and stable.
Secure to any station.
Okay.
Yes.
And you simply just moisten the bottom a little bit, and then you press it down so that the suction can take effect.
Absolutely. Yes.
And then you're good to go.
Right. And you just pull your needle, and you see it moves easy.
Yeah.
And then you just cut and you thread, and once you finish, you put your needle back on the cushion, move to the next needle up.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. Now, I'm a very observant person. Okay. Needless to say, and I noticed that this one has 5 holes, and this one has 10 holes.
Yes.
So, what is the purpose of the 5 and the 10?
Well, I would think that one who is not just like does a lot of weaving all the time and maybe just do a couple of tracks as I did to fill in their client's hair to just give them some volume, pretty much only need about 5 holes. And you will not have to thread another needle also when you use the 5 holes. The 10 is like can be done with the full head of weave, but it's for a person that may have a small head to a medium head. And then I also have a 15 that I do not have showing. But the 15 allow you to do a complete full head without changing needles, without rethreading needles. So we have 3 designs.
So when you said a small head, some people head bigger than others?
Yes.
I had to throw that in there, y'all. I'm sorry.
As God's creation.
Hey, and it's all perfect, big or small, right?
And this is also can be used multi-purpose, which is for threading, you know, for sewing, seamstress, and things like that. So it is multi-purpose. Yeah. Okay, multi-purpose. So people are able to get this from your website. Yes.
You said right?
Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah. You know, now I know everybody's talking about things being made in the USA.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
And so I have to ask you, is this product made in the USA?
Yes, it is. It's eco-friendly as well, and it's handcrafted and really by awesome manufacturer.
So you're saying that each one of these items each one, they're not manufactured necessarily, but they're actually handcrafted.
Absolutely, handcrafted.
Really?
Yes.
I think that's awesome.
Yes,
I think that's
do.
awesome. And you know what's even more awesome is that I see you on your advertisement for this product.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm like, hey, that's Liz on that. All right. That's how we do it. You know, kind of like the Wendy's girl. You see the little girl with the pigtail.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That represents the Wendy's.
Yes.
This is a great product. I wish you tons of success. And is there anything else that you would want our listening audience to know about the Easy Needle Multi-Threader?
Other than just go to the website and buy it. It's just that simple. And you can go to www.easyneedlemultithreader.com, or also YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Okay. And now when you say Easy Needle, I noticed that when I put the ad out, you hit me up with a message and you said, hey, you didn't say that right. I said, oh man, I messed up. You said, get my product name right. And I said, I'm sorry, Liz. What am I supposed to do?
He put my name in all caps too, y'all.
And so it's actually called the the alphabet E and the alphabet Z.
Right.
So it's not EASY, but it's
Absolutely.
EZ.
Yes.
Easy Needle Multi-Threader.
Yes.
That's correct. So that's how they can find you.
Yes.
Easy Needle Multi-Threader on YouTube.
Yes.
Elizabeth, thank you so much for joining me on this edition of the Ferrell Phelps Show. You guys stick around. We're going to be back with more awesome guests. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a moment.
Sky Trues custom eyewear has taken the world by storm. In only 8 months, Sky Trues has gained the eyes of many, including celebs like Big Sean, Little Flip, Destiny Child, Soulja Boy, just to name a few. Through custom design, Sky Trues can put your imagination on your frames. I bring to you the next big thing in Houston, Sky Trues, created by Golden Boy, the musician, the artist, the entrepreneur, and grassroots marketing genius. Be inspired. Sky Trues, custom designed frames. Sky Trues!
All right, as promised, we're back with the second half of the Ferrell Phelps Show with my guest today, Mr. Maurice Pinkney and Ron Brannon. Welcome to the show. Now, as you guys know, this is all about Black history, and we've done so much in the world as African-American people, and you guys are actually business owners, and it's a particular product that you guys have been telling me about that's pretty exciting. And your name of your company is called Phalanx, and I've already said I might mess up this name, so y'all just have to correct me if I do.
No problem.
Now, I want to know more about what the company is all about. If you can tell me a little bit more, Maurice.
Well, I'm going to defer to my marketing VP here. He's got that opening statement for me.
All right,
So,
Mr. Brannon?
Yeah, so basically, there's been a lot of talk about border security, and the new administration, that's one of probably the utmost concerns for them is how do we secure our borders. So there's been talk about a wall being built, but you have to ask, how effective can a wall really be, and how efficient can it be? So looking at that, there have been estimates for cost that's upwards of $25 billion. So
wow,
that's a lot of money for a wall. So Phalanx has come up with a system that we think is not only cost effective, but will be twice as efficient as a wall would be, and we think it'll give us much better security overall.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, when you talk about the wall and the product that you guys are creating, so you're not talking about necessarily creating a wall, but something totally different. Explain to me a little bit about how that would actually work.
Well, actually what it is, we're using fiber optics to detect sound. The system, the algorithm that we came up with will detect any motion of people walking, and it can detect up to 500 meters away, and it also can detect any tunneling down to 100 meters in the ground,
Okay.
and any aircraft that flies over 100 meters, low-flying aircraft, such as drug dealers and that type. The system is eco-friendly. It's totally invisible. You can't even see it. It's underground, so it's not going to stop, animals from migrating across the border. It's not going to interfere with farmers who live on the border. It's not going to interfere with any traffic that we might want to come in, because most people don't know that last year we had 60,000 children under the age of 15 unaccompanied to cross that border.
Wow.
So if you put a wall up, what happens to those kids? They're not going to make it across that border.
Mm-hmm.
And it's 100%. You can't defeat it. It's the system, and Ron, you can elaborate on the system that Boeing tried to put up. They charged us $1.2 billion and nothing happened. You want to elaborate on that?
Yeah, well, it's basically a failed project.
Okay.
As Maurice kind of pointed out, 1.2 billion spent, and it still has not served the purpose. So we, again, feel very confident that what we have is not only going to be effective, but it's something that will last for a long time. And we also plan to expand it to personal security as well.
Is that right?
Even personal homes. So.
Okay. Awesome. You know, and that's just like my prior guest with the Easy Needle multi-threader, with a product that has multi-purpose usage. So when you talk about not only it being something that can secure the border, but something that can actually be used at some point, possibly in homes as well. And I think that's very smart when it comes to marketing what you have. Absolutely. Now, I want to ask you, what about when we talk about containing people between the U.S. and Mexico? We talk about the wall and the border, and yours is with fiber optics. Now, and you said that it's not a wall, so it's nothing there, but it can detect anything that crosses it. And I know that we talked earlier. You said that it can detect whether it's an animal, whether it's a male, whether it's a female or a child. This product can actually detect that. What stops people from Mexico to crossing over the border with your product? What actually keeps them from crossing over?
Well, it's not going to stop them from coming, but it's
Okay.
going to alert the Border Patrol of the intrusion.
Okay.
It's 100%. It's felt. See what the problem that Boeing had is the system that they put in. It was affected by the gravitational pull of the moon. Is affected by solar flares, weather.
Okay.
Weather can defeat it. With the fiber optics that when we put it in, none of that affects it. The only thing that you could possibly do to it, well, there's a couple things. You could put a nuclear bomb in there, that would destroy it. Well, no, that's not going to happen. But you would have to have a lightning strike that would actually hit the cable.
Okay.
And that would only knock, and the way we have the stations built, it would only knock out 2 stations, and the other 2 stations further away would pick up the slack.
Okay.
It would not have the same range,
Yeah.
but we can change those stations out in 6 hours.
Okay.
So there's hardly any downtime. It lets us know right away if there's any issues with it. So I just think it's probably the best system that we could ever put out there without spending $25 million.
Okay. And you know, that sounds great. And when you talk about creating a system, we always want to think of ways that are cost effective and cost efficient. So when you have somebody, perhaps like the government, looking at this particular product, I think that's something that they're going to certainly take into consideration.
Absolutely.
The fact that this can be done for far less than what they were talking about initially. And I think that you guys can use this product in multiple ways. That's just a whole, even if this didn't, we're not saying that it's not going to, we're going to believe that it is. Amen?
Amen.
Yes.
All right. And so, but even if it did not, the fact that you have a plan B and other possible uses for it, it says a lot about you guys thinking before you actually jump in the process. You know, that's very important. That's very important. I'm excited about it. I want to see what's going to happen with it. And hopefully this show can make a difference. Somebody can see this thing and take something to the next level. How soon do you guys plan on trying to have, I guess, the necessary meetings to take it to the next step?
Well, we already have some meetings scheduled with some government officials. We, since you invited us to a show, we've had some contact with some government officials that we didn't even know they were going to contact us. They contacted us and want to set up a meeting. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks or so, we should have some pretty good traction on this, and probably have that contract signed so we can start.
That is awesome. And you know, it's. I think it's the timing is everything. You know, when we think about timing, God's timing is perfect.
Absolutely.
And with everything that's happening right now, and the wall being one of the big issues that people are talking about in America, especially, y'all. I mean, our new president. It really, this could make a big difference.
Absolutely.
You know, and it would be a beautiful thing to see African American men taking this type of product to the next level to make a difference in the world that we live in, and also to help secure our borders more as well. So I'm excited about it, man, and I'm looking forward to it. Is there anything else that you would want the world to know about what you guys are doing right now?
I think we've put a great deal of thought into it, and sometimes emotive. When you talk about doing something like this, there are people that make jokes about the wall being built, and they'll get a 25-foot ladder to go over the wall, or they'll figure out a way to go under it.
Okay.
So it may sound funny, but security is serious. You're talking about things like drugs. You have people that come over here that don't have good intentions. So this is a way to keep all of us safe.
Safe, yeah.
So I mean, that's kind of the rationale.
Yeah. I definitely agree. And when you talk about kids crossing over, I can't help but to think about human trafficking. And a lot of human trafficking takes place from the Mexico border to the United States. And that's one of the ways they get here, as well as the I-10 corridor, which is the biggest human trafficking corridor in the United States. And that's I-10 that's right here in our fair city, So I want to talk a little bit more about the product and what you guys are doing when we come back in just a moment. You guys stick around. We'll be back in just a moment. All right, welcome back to this edition of the Ferrell Phelps Show with my awesome guests, Mr. Maurice Pinkney and Ron Brannon. Welcome back, guys. Now, we left off talking about this amazing product, and how this thing is going to work. Now, not only is it a great product, but you guys are also going to employ how many people to do this?
We will have 1,500 veterans that will be employed with this project.
1,500 veterans will be employed with this project.
Yes.
So not only have you created this project that can protect our borders, but you're also going to employ people along the way. And we're talking about 1,500 people will be employed with this project.
Permanent jobs.
Is that right?
Permanent jobs.
Permanent. And it's, I can't help but to think, it's like the gift that keeps on giving. Not only are you creating something that can protect our borders, that could possibly be home security, but now we're talking about employing 1,500 Americans, and not only Americans, but veterans. And I think that's very important, because so many veterans come out and that's just like they don't know what to do. But by you guys creating jobs, that's going to help boost our economy, and that's what we need. So I can't help but to say again, y'all got a gift that just keeps on giving. I think that's a wonderful thing. I know there was something else that you want to tell me about what you guys are doing as well too, right?
Well, one thing I want to bring up as well is we are both veterans, so we both served our country. So the senior staff, every single one of them are like retired colonels. They were senior staff in the military as well.
Okay.
So we know the project is going to be done right. It's going to be done on time, and I think you can elaborate on how long it's going to take us and all that.
Yeah, I think we should be able to be up and running in 90 days, and the entire project should take somewhere around 18 to 20 months.
Okay. So about almost 2 years.
Almost 2 years.
For the entire project.
Yep.
Which really isn't a long time when you think about it.
Yeah, relatively speaking, it's not. And the other thing we look at too is this is not a political situation. So it's not about being a Republican or a Democrat. This is about safety for people in America. So, that's what's most important, is keeping our people here safe.
Absolutely. And I think we can all attest to that when we see a lot of different things that are happening, because people have been able to infiltrate the borders. And like we mentioned earlier, from human trafficking to drugs, things that would negatively affect America. So again, this product ain't just about one thing. It actually covers a lot of things by it happening. Now, fiber optics is the way that you guys go. How did you guys determine that you wanted to create this project with fiber optics? How did that come about?
Well, a couple of years ago in my current occupation, I ran into an engineer who, through a conversation, he says, well, you meet a lot of the public and you probably run into, guys, other engineers. And I said, yeah, I do. And he says, well, this is what I want to do, and I need some help with other engineers, but I don't want to do it with the company I'm currently working with.
Okay.
Because it's not their idea, it's mine. So at that point, I said, okay, I will help you. And then it just evolved over months and months, and then finally we got the team put together, and it within about 6 months, and spending a lot of money, we got the team right.
All right.
And then it took about a year, just under a year to a year and a half to get the what we call the algorithm.
Okay.
And then after testing it and verifying everything, we were ready. So we started, knocking on the doors of the of congressmen and senators and everything. But if you know the political situation, you can't get to a congressman.
Right.
You can't get to a senator. There's so many layers of bureaucracy right now that, we tried. Even Homeland Security, they just put a block on it because it's just too many layers.
Right.
So we're trying a different approach, and it seems like it's working at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. And, we've always had the old adage, there's a million ways to skin a cat.
Absolutely.
So if one way don't work, you just figure out another way. But what's beautiful about it is that you don't give up.
No.
Right.
You continue to pursue your passion and your purpose, and then that's when you'll have success. But giving up is never an option. And obviously, you guys are not giving up because you're continuing to push forward with this project. I just want to wish you guys tons of success in what you're doing. And also, how would the listening audience, perhaps, if somebody sees this, how would they actually get in touch with you guys? How do they get in touch with you?
Well, you can go to Project Phalanx, go to our Facebook page, hit the About button, and you can also click on, we have links there for you to send a message to your senators, send a message to your Congress, tell them to fund Project Phalanx. It's the best way, it's the only way that we think that this can be done. It will save billions of dollars of taxpayer money, even though it's been said that Mexico will pay for this. We're going to pay for it up front. So we might as well pay 20% of it than 100% of what they're talking about right now.
That's awesome. Now, I had a little difficulty with the name earlier, Phalanx. So if you don't mind, spell it out for the people so that when they try to find you, they'll be able to find it easily.
Okay, just Project, Phalanx. That's it.
That's it. All right, you guys got that. Thank you so much for joining me on this edition of the Ferrell Phelps Show. I've had an awesome time, and I wish you guys the absolute best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Now, for more information, absolutely. For more information on this show, you can certainly reach me at Let's Talk About It 12TV at gmail.com. That's Let's Talk About It 12TV at gmail.com. You can also go to my YouTube channel. Simply go to YouTube, type in the name Ferrell Phelps. You'll see a list of my shows right there for your viewing pleasure. Until next time, folks, we'll see you then.